Ми е интервју со специјалниот претставник на Обединетото Кралство за Западен Балкан, лорд Стјуарт Пич. Добро дојдовте во интервјуто на Мија. Бивте во посета на Скопје кон крајот на минатата година. Сега повторно сте тука, имавте средби со државниот врв. Каков е вашиот впечаток сега по неколку месеци по однос на политичката состојба, реформите, корупцијата и каква порака испративте на сите овие средби што ги остваривте денеска и вчера?
Thank you, and thank you again, and nice to see you. It is crucial that North Macedonia implements reforms without delay. Even if action was taken today, it will take time for the results to be visible to the people. What is important is that concrete steps are made as soon as possible on establishing a track record on rule of law, good governance, human rights and protection of minorities. The UK supports North Macedonia's ambitious reform agenda, including the reforms that are necessary for progress towards EU accession. Polls here show the people of North Macedonia, continue to perceive corruption as a problem. The government needs to demonstrate that they are tackling this problem. Having an independent merits-based appointment system, for example, and a transparent election process for key officials including judges, anti-discrimination commissioners and senior civil servants is a good start, along with the need to increase transparency and accountability within many public institutions. The UK supports North Macedonia in this work through our programme funding to address many of these issues.
Постои заладување изминатиот период на односите Скопје-Софија, по серијата провокации кои доведоа дури до закана од страна на бугарски политичар кон македонскиот претседател, има најави за ново бугарско вето. За отварање на поглавијата по завршување на скрининг процесот во ноември. Како ги оценувате во моментот македонско-бугарските односи?
Well, this is not a new veto, it is the maintenance of a current veto. And it's important that all partners work together in support of good neighbourliness and cooperation agenda. That is our shared Euro-Atlantic future, which we believe in. And of course, I'm sure all the people watching would agree, there's more that unites the Bulgarian and Macedonian people than divides them. Last summer, Bulgaria adopted the so-called French proposal and announced it would remove its veto on the commencement of negotiations for North Macedonia's accession to the EU. The condition, which was set out by President Radev, is that Bulgarians are added to those minority groupings reflected in the North Macedonian constitution. So far, there is no majority in Parliament in Skopje to fulfil this, but it's important that everybody in Macedonia, the Macedonians, come together to make good on this commitment. Recent tensions in this bilateral relationship between North Macedonia and Bulgaria are a concern to us, but I am confident there remains a significant amount of goodwill from all involved and a solution will be found. North Macedonia and Bulgaria are NATO member states and allies and like-minded. On the current relations, both countries need to consider the wider context and current geostrategic manoeuvring around the region. So the UK continues to support and encourage both North Macedonia and Bulgaria to work together to improve bilateral relations which support North Macedonia on its path to EU accession.
Ја споминавте заедничката соработка од двете страни дека е потребна. Сметате ли дека е провокација отворањето на бугарските клубови во Северна Македонија, кои се именувани по историски личности, кои според светската историографија се поврзуваат со фашизмот?
As a former chairman of the Imperial War Museum, we need to be sensitive to the power of symbols, language and history, particularly in the context of the Western Balkans. We know that this region is a region where historical figures are remembered very differently by different communities, and it's therefore very important that expressions of identity do not provide further grounds for division. Freedom of assembly and expression are important, but it is also important, imperative even, for us not to cause offence. We want to see tensions reduced, not increased, and it's important that all people work together to calm tensions and focus on building bridges between people, such as with the Joint Multidisciplinary Expert Commission for Historical and Education Questions. Your Foreign Minister, Dr. Bujar Osmani, recently met with representatives from organisations from the Bulgarian community in North Macedonia, and both sides have pledged that their activities will be aimed at easing tensions between Skopje and Sofia. And we should not underestimate, in the regional context, that those that may benefit from the dispute between North Macedonia and Bulgaria are using such provocations for their own gain, and everyone in the region will be worse off.
Опозицијата е децидна дека нема да поддржи уставни измени, кои пак со преговарачката рамка се услов за отварање на поглавијата во почетокот на преговорите и обстојува на ставот и бара предвремени избори. Власта има ново мнозинство, но не и двотретинско. Како ја оценувате моменталната состојба во однос на тоа дека уставните измени се потребни, меѓутоа потребно и мнозинство тие да се спроведат?
Well, all Macedonian politicians should think long and hard of what is in the best interest for your country and your citizens. Sadly, we continue to see a brain drain, and young people continue to want to migrate abroad. Recent polling suggests citizens are disappointed and feel that North Macedonia is moving in the wrong direction. The people of North Macedonia want and deserve a better standard of living, clean air, good education, a high-class health system, regardless of which political party is in government. And it would be unfair to the people of this country for the EU path to be delayed. Many years and different governments have worked hard to achieve EU membership since North Macedonia's 2004 EU candidacy. It is time for all political stakeholders to help North Macedonia's EU accession. This should not be viewed only as a win for the government of the day. It's a win for all previous governments and, above all, for the Macedonian citizens. We acknowledge it's not been an easy road, and there have been many hurdles through the years. Therefore, I urge all politicians not to let politics impact on one of the most important strategic goals since the independence of North Macedonia. A joint effort in getting North Macedonia to its well-deserved EU membership.
Господине Пич, присуствувавте на Мюнхенската безбедносна конференција. Таму имавте куса средба со вице-премиерот за европски прашања Бојан Маричич, од кој упативте порака Западен Балкан да остане на патот на Европската унија, но истовремено и да биде приоритет на Европската унија. Дали регионот е навистина приоритет за Европската унија, имајќи ги предвид безбедносните предизвици со кои што се соочува и Европа, секако туку и регионот е вклучен во тој пакет?
Well, that is a question for the European Union. The Western Balkans is certainly a priority area for the UK. We cooperate very closely on a wide range of issues, on defence with NATO partners and allies in the region, on migration with Albania, or through trade. For example, we have over £2.2 billion of bilateral trade between the UK and North Macedonia.
Неодамна се одбележа една година од руската воена агресија врз Украина, но и според она што беше заклучено на Мюнхенската безбедносна конференција и според последните случувања, како да не се гледа крајот на оваа војна. Дали ситуацијата може да стане полоша и да ескалира и во други земји, например и во регионот на Западен Балкан?
Well, Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine has heightened the risk of instability in the Western Balkans. Russia uses disinformation and other tools to make worse already existing tensions in the Western Balkans, and their aim is to cause instability and actually prevent or stop the Euro-Atlantic integration, which we've just discussed, of all the countries of the region. The UK continues to take the threat from the Russian state extremely seriously, and we continue to work with all of our partners and allies and friends to bring all of our capabilities to bear against adversaries who seek to undermine our collective security in the Western Balkans and elsewhere.
Регионот на Западен Балкан има нерешени прашања кои може да доведат до дестабилизирање. Сведоци сме на обидите за решавање на спорот Белград-Приштина. Најавена е средба на српскиот председател Вучич и косовскиот премиер Курти во Охрид на 18 март, на која домаќин ќе биде премиерот Ковачевски. Што очекувате од средбата и воопшто до сегашниот тек на преговорите?
Well, the UK welcomes progress that's been made on the EU-led talks between Pristina and Belgrade on the agreement for the path to normalisation of relations. And we do so as a basis for a sustainable long-term agreement. Clearly, there is much work to do and to be done before the meeting on March the 18th, but that meeting, and thank you to North Macedonia for hosting it, will be a key moment to make further progress. Next steps to agree an implementation plan will be crucial, with leadership and flexibility key to secure a positive outcome, and the UK continues and will continue to fully support this process.
Дали отворените прашања на Балканот оставаат простор за руско или други влијани во регионот?
Sadly, they do. Russian influence threatens the whole of the rules-based international system and aims, as I've said earlier, to stop or delay or hamper the Euro-Atlantic integration of the countries of the Western Balkans and elsewhere. Russia's illegal, continued and unprovoked assault on Ukraine has now made it absolutely critical for Western Balkans to be supported and progress democratic reforms and demonstrate unity.
Една од главните теми на Мюнхенската конференција, а и секако актуелна и во денешницата во сите земји во светот, беа хибридните закани. Во интервјуто што го дадовте за МИА пред чинам 2 години, кога бевте председавач на војниот комитет на НАТО, говоревме за хибридните закани. Тогаш порачавте дека пропагандата не се уништува со пропаганда, туку со факти. Како да се справат државите со овој наплив на хибридни закани со кои што се соочуваме и ние тука во Северна Македонија?
Since we last met and I conducted that interview, the challenge of hybrid attacks has got worse. All NATO allies face threats and challenges from state and non-state actors. Hybrid activities are now used to target political institutions, to influence public opinion, and to undermine our security. And you see examples of this every day in your country and my country. Therefore, countries must strengthen their national resilience, their awareness, and improve their ability to understand the hybrid threat picture, to counter disinformation, to discuss new and emerging forms of hybrid warfare, work together and take measures to improve our resilience.
Како Велика Британија се справува со хибридните закани?
Well, the UK has recognised this threat for many years, and I've been working on it for a long time. As the threat grows, we continue to evolve our response in both complexity and globally. And we need all of us to adapt our response and to grow it. It should be united, transparent, respect rights and robust, but ensure that we are aligned and mutually reinforce each other. And I'll give you 4 examples. We could and should exchange knowledge through open source intelligence analysis to monitor and expose hostile information, how they're conducted as operations, how new tactics emerge. All those activities undermine our democracies and cause real-world harm. We also conduct strategic communication campaigns to counter disinformation with one voice, a collective voice. We make joint representation to communications service providers to understand and enhance the effectiveness of interventions to counter disinformation online, and we discussed this recently in the House of Lords. We need to bring together existing initiatives such as the UK Online Safety Bill and the EU Code of Conduct. In addition, we continue to coordinate donations for effective funding of initiatives to understand and expose the disinformation threat and support independent media.
Господине Пич, ви благодарам за овој интервју што го дадовте за ние.
Thank you. Nice to see you again. Thank you.